And with this power core, we can fix our Arc of Verdance. I think this is what they call a full circle moment?
Huh. Lately, I feel like I've been running in circles.
Hey, I know things look bleak, but this is a win. Don't let the Talon rob you of it. You're finishing her work, after all.
You're right.
I always am. Now, I think you've got a meeting with the Axle.
It's a little bit beautiful, isn't it? It's like reaching into the past and shaking hands with its desire.
Be happy to see it up and running.
I think so too. Plans set in motion decades ago, slowly ticking towards fruition. If we are so lucky.
What's all this, big guy?
The culmination of all our efforts, Bryn.
He wanted it to be a surprise.
Consider me impressed. But what exactly does it do?
He hasn't told you?
As Casman said, I wanted it to be a surprise.
Sev, we all do better work with context. This is something you're going to need to get used to.
Yeah. You're a weaver now. I heard you say so yourself.
It's the culmination of an Orion dream. But unlike them, I'm not going to use it to put a nation in a stranglehold. No. I'm going to change the weather. For you.
For me?
Yes. It will take some resources, so let's be judicious, but yes. We can change the weather before your expeditions.
So all those patterns I collected?
Critical to calibrating things. Weather and miasma alike. The creatures have been exposed to so many wild environmental swings.
We'll treat it just like upgrading the camp. Maybe I end up trading with the Hearthsiders. Maybe we do a little alchemy.
What's involved with actually making it happen?
Well, it's not simple for me. But for you, I'll keep it simple. If we want to make a change before you leave, we can do it as part of the preparation. The aerolifts are all connected. And the device we created will let me give them let's call it a shove, for a day or so.
We've run some limited tests, and everything holds up. It's really rather ingenious.
And we'll give you quite the edge. Imagine tossing a drought when a frost creature is hunting.
It can affect miasma, too, yes?
Yes, it can. Which is promising. If we can clear you a path somehow to the source, we know the Arc of Verdance should be able to give you a clear workspace.
For machinery repair and herald elimination alike.
Exactly. Now you need to find a way to reach the source. And I need to find a way to clear that path. Still, promising.
Have I ever told you how much I enjoy watching your expeditions on the Scry?
You too?
Look, it's no secret that when Aurea injured her wing, I was skeptical of you taking over expeditions. So I started watching you to make sure things were going well.
You mean to make sure I didn't screw up?
Fine. That's what I was doing. At least at first. On one of your first expeditions into the Hollow, I watched you take a swing at that massive Archon thinking it was inactive. Then, when its eye lit up, these visions of you dying started swarming me. I panicked and asked Aurea if you were ready for this, hoping she'd pull you out immediately. Then you began climbing the Ark. And it was like everything in my head just went quiet. That does not happen often. You had this serene look on your face. Like this was exactly the challenge you'd been waiting a lifetime for.
It was.
When you took it down without breaking a sweat, I was secretly pretty impressed.
I like hearing you had faith in me, even back then.
It's only grown tenfold. After that, I enjoyed watching you on the Scry. Knowing you're out there, keeping all of us safe, relaxes me and keeps the visions at bay.
Everyone knew the aeroliths could smooth out the weather, but no one suspected they could change it so suddenly. Since the surge, they've caused wild swings, but no one has ever tried to control it.
Sev's achieved something incredible.
And practical. Imagine the look on a glass tail's face when it suddenly turns blisteringly hot.
Surprise, Icy Boy. It's summer.
Exactly. Advantage, Bryn.
How are you feeling about Sev, Sola?
Delighted.
Not upset to lose an apprentice?
I'll find more. Lots of talent among the Hearthsiders, according to the Axle. And that's perfect. They'll learn quick, just like Sev did. I'm proud of him. And controlling the weather itself. Incredible. I've learned from a lot of years on the road that change is the natural way of things.
Our time in the Enclave has certainly proven that.
Anticipating change and finding joy in it, the best thing you can do in your life.
You know, I can't stop thinking. Could Stannard have fixed the weather?
From what Sev said, the former I was more a political animal than an expert.
Yeah, that makes sense. If only he'd shared what he had access to with people who were halfway competent. Anyway, I just hope Sev can keep digging. He's got a good head on his shoulders.
You look like you've got something on your mind, Sev.
Struggling a little, perhaps. I find myself torn.
Between Casmin's stews and Darn's spiced pork? Same.
Pork. Stew gets in my fur. That aside, I find myself both wanting to tear down the Norians and redeem them. Surely not everything they did was self-serving politics. There had to be some craft or artistry behind it.
That's the part of Norian-ness that appeals to you?
Recently I found records, experiments to improve flow rates across the tapestry.
Better pipes.
Pretty much. The team was working on it right around the time the surge hit.
Any idea where?
Not too far from here. Odd they'd set up in a swamp, but perhaps it was a stress test.
We're going to have to fix the Enclave eventually. Better pipes can't hurt. I'll check it out.
You are tireless, Bryn.
I can sleep when I'm dead. Though as a point, I might be tempting fate by saying that.
You're right. But we all notice how hard you work. I know what it feels like to work without praise. Feels good to shine a little sun on your achievements.
As it turns out, I'm rather glad you tore down Asylum. I was not, at the time, but Arakim's come a long way since he started working with your band.
Arak feels you appointed him as a political move.
Oh, I absolutely did. And I'm pleased he recognizes it. A bright future awaits him. I need someone who will push, and he will most certainly do that.
Oh, Bryn, how did it go?
It worked amazingly. In fact, I was almost too cold.
Oh, I must have prepared it incorrectly. Perhaps too much stirring.
I'm kidding, Lane. It was perfect.
Your elevated wit eludes me once again.
If you two are done flirting with each other, it's excellent to hear that the potions worked. Lane, what sort of quantities can we produce for the scouts?
As much as you need. It's not hard to make.
That's very good news. I wonder why the Eye never explored this as an option.
I would assume the reason sits somewhere between lack of care and gross negligence. Speaking of the Eye, Bryn, the Axel and I had a chance to sit and talk for a while. Would you believe that she isn't his biggest fan either?
I had certainly suspected it, though I didn't know either of you well enough to know whether your weird dynamic was, well, normal.
We were indeed not very cordial with each other at the best of times.
In particular, the way he kept secrets rubbed us both the wrong way. We found ourselves in agreement that any new government here should be built on a foundation of trust and respect.
A foundation that will only be built if we secure our survival. Lane and I don't agree on everything, but it was good to sit and speak with someone who understands the nature of the work I'm doing.
It's not every day that one has the privilege of watching a new order emerge.
Perhaps you will be here to document it.
I should like that very much. The story of a new enclave should be made available to all. Every detail, out in the light. I'm struck with inspiration. I need to return to base camp and get started on my history. to be here as it's being written, to be the one writing it. Oh, what a privilege.
Oh, they're gone. Do they always do that?
Yes. It's my favorite thing about them. Their thoughts grab them by the hair and steer them around.
You're very sweet together.
Thank you. It's fairly early days, but I like them. A lot.
That's all that matters in the end, really. Well, with my mind at ease, for now, at least, I will thank you and bid you farewell. My list of petitions is smaller by one, for the moment.
We're here to help. Talk later. Khan Arteme, my Weaver band has repaired the Ark we followed through the Veil and discovered its true purpose.
To nullify the tangles at the source so it can be repaired.
Its anti-magic properties are why we were able to follow it through the Veil in the first place.
I see.
If we could get it to the source, we believe it could stabilize the Enclave.
Except the Grand Gate was broken when the Ark pushed the Herald back through it.
Surely there must be another way to reach the source.
Now that it's repaired, couldn't this Ark be used to leave the Enclave the way you came?
In theory, sure.
What are you saying, Khan Arteme?
It's time for someone to protect my people. I need to use that Ark to get us all out of here.
You would leave with the Surgeborn running loose. Or worse, allow them to spread and wreak havoc across the Maida in your wake.
No one has succeeded in stopping them yet. We've been trapped inside the Enclave for decades. It's time to set ourselves free before the Surgeborn overtake Cassidon's hold and kill us all.
You're right. You do need to take care of your people. But running away from your problems won't solve that.
The Surgeborn will still be out there. It's only a matter of time before they escape the Enclave.
The Surgeborn has infiltrated our scry. It's learning how to use our enchantments against us. If we don't put a stop to this madness, how long until they overtake the Arks? Or bring down the Veil and spread across the Maida?
That is concerning. Still, let's be clear. Even if you could reach the source, there's a massive Surgeborn that almost killed you lurking down there.
I'll be ready for the Herald this time.
And what are you going to do about all the tangles? Punch them before they disintegrate you?
We will leverage the aeroliths to control miasma at the source. We think this will clear a path so that I can escort the Ark.
Interesting. You've put more thought into this than I'd expected. But, as you've said, you have no way to reach the source.
Fine. Our plan has a few kinks to iron out.
More than a few.
How about this? If you can just give us time to present you with the final plan, it'll be your call whether or not we move forward on it.
I suppose that's fair. I can't pack up this stronghold in a day.
One more thing. It's clear by now the Enclave hides its secrets well. If there's any information on the source, I need access to it.
There are private records that can only be accessed with the Eye's signet. I suppose he's not using it at the moment, but...
Bryn did just save your people from certain death not too long ago.
Fine, you can borrow it. You should find information at the Spire in Upper Denevron, the Bastion, and the Institute.
We'll arrange a meeting with you when we're ready.
Good luck. Good.
This is the Norian side, Sev.
Yes. They were working out of that cave.
Sheltered, yet deadly. Probably wasn't that way before the surge. Shipping crates, marked Project Junction 4X9.
Sounds familiar. I'll look into it.
Abandoned in a hurry.
Anyone who survived the tapestry overloading probably ran for the nearest loom gate.
reveal the Enclave's secrets. Not that I needed it to pry into the eye's darker truths. Let me guess. You're trying to find another way to reach the source. I'm all for it. We'll be able to speak more easily then.
I'm sick of your voice already.
Such impoliteness is unbecoming of you. Didn't your parents raise you to be a nice, respectable girl? I gathered from how the eye spoke of his own daughter. So the core values your kind instills in their hearts.
Fields from an expedition to the source shortly after the siege. Severe damage to the colony. All who participated in the expedition were sworn to secrecy by the Eye and power of time. Council records are meant to be public. Wonder what else the Eye was hiding from his people. Records on the construction and maintenance of grand gates across the Enclave. Last time we went looking for answers in the Bastion, half the documents were torn to shreds. What else were they hiding behind the Eye's signet? Looks like research that's been compiled on the ecological and geographic impact of the... Surge across the Enclave's landscape. There's an entire section on the widening of the Great Chasm.
About our Norian findings, would you forgive an observation before we start?
Sure. What's up?
This is the second time I've been able to just collaborate. The Axle helped me without question. Aram could get used to this.
And what did the combination of your excellent minds discover?
That marking you found, for Junction 4X9, it's a location code. The Norians and Enclave had a system to track the flow of raw magic. The Khan and I did some archival digging, and we know where it's located.
Is that a common way to track piping?
Only for Norians. Our waterworks are hidden. It keeps their secrets. But also makes them hard to track.
In Taza, you mean?
Yes, but here too. The Enclave was invested in keeping the tapestry out of sight.
You wanted to find something practical. This sounds like it counts.
Oh, Bryn, yes. I needed this. Something skillfully wrought and worthy of study. Even uncovering how they balanced the pressure would take years. Amazing.
Since you know where this Junction X... whatever is, am I heading there?
Not just yet. I don't want to waste your time.
Oh?
My working theory is that they used that junction to rebalance the flow of raw magic to their worksite.
To what end?
If they wanted to test new piping technology, they'd need contents for the pipe. Water wouldn't behave like raw magic does. Compression and so on. Major junctions had valves that changed the pressures and flow, but took specialized tools to operate.
How specialized, exactly?
They were Norians. Why use a wrench when you can make a special secret wrench?
A wrench hunt, then. Sounds like a trick they play on junior artisans.
I doubt we'll just find one lying around. We did, however, find the designs. Encoded, of course.
I bet Zola's already heating up the forge.
Yes. I wish they didn't use such exotic alloys, but magical flow control requires them.
It's okay, Sev. I'm on it.
These Norian designs are really something.
Looking over the fancy wrench?
Sev said you'd call it that. But yes, I've never seen anything so over-engineered in my life. Sev tells me they built it inscrutable so that no one could copy it. I simplified it down for our purposes.
That will make it easier to produce more.
Lot to learn from the Norians. Both what to do and cautionary tales. Takes you back, doesn't it? Just like when we first arrived, trying to get things working, unaware there's a whole twist of piping under our feet.
One day we're just trying to get a loom gate functional.
And the next, we're going to have to face the heart of the Enclave and figure out how to fix this damned place.
If anyone can do it, It's Bryn.
Oh, of course she can. Anyway, enough of that. Do we need to send a team?
No. The valves were designed to be worked easily, even by one person. All it should take is a steady eye and a strong arm.
Ashar strong? Or do I need to channel my inner big burly Ram?
You should be fine. That said, I do think all of you would look better with tusks.
You're entitled to your incorrect opinion.
Ha! So, feel up to some junction hunting, Bryn.
So much safer than my usual quarry. Less mobile, too.
Hope you're not afraid of diving into bottomless pits.
Hardly. Maybe a little. Why?
Despite the Grand Gates no longer functioning, there is a more direct way to reach the source. By dropping straight down into a rift in Lower Denevron.
You know, Last time I wanted to charge into a restricted area, you weren't so sure it was a great idea.
People change. And sometimes people change you. Maybe I've learned a thing or two about calculated risk-taking from you. And the prospect of securing the source makes this a risk worth taking.
With this knowledge and Sev's plan to control the miasma with the aeroliths, I'll get Aurea to call a meeting with the Axle.
Perfect.
Anyone else missing Sev? No. He was always quiet, but his presence was felt nonetheless.
I definitely miss his help, but I'm happy he's found his place in the band.
Don't mind the space for now, personally.
All right, everyone. Let's give Khan Atame the rundown.
Using the aeroliths, I can trigger a miasma everywhere they affect above ground.
It is advised that your people remain indoors during this process.
The miasma will flow from the source, which will lessen the raw magic enough to keep Bryn safe while she escorts the Ark.
And how is she going to get there without the Grand Gate?
She'll drop in through the rift in Lower Denevron.
Skies, of course she will.
Don't worry. I've got plenty of experience scaling down cliffs.
Once she's in the underworks, she'll stay within the Ark's protective field and follow it to the source where it will fulfill its purpose, to pacify the Tangles.
And what about the Herald?
That's where you're going to need to trust me.
You really think you can do this?
When I doubt my own abilities, I just look to my band. Kaz is prepared for plans A through Z. Dharm and Sola have me armed to the teeth. Aurea is going to guide me through thick and thin. Lane knows more about the Enclave than the people still living in it. Arik has brought us into your world, and Sev can control the freaking weather. How can I fail?
You've asked me to guide us. Now, it's time for you to trust me when I say, this is our path.
Kenrick lied to us for decades. It's hard to believe anyone who says they're going to take care of the Surgeborn now. But with how open you've been, and everything you've done for us already, you've earned my trust. We will stay and fight for our hearth.
Thank you.
Bryn, I'll coordinate with Sev. When you're ready, come see me.
You should be close to the junction now.
That turned easily enough. Creaked a little, but seems stable now.
Perfect.
Certainly easier than Loomgate repair.
If we could have stopped the flow with a tool like this, the Hollow's Loomgate would have been trivial.
That should have cleared the Norian worksite.
Only one way to find out. Good news, Sev. The cave looks tangle-free.
That seals it then. Literally and figuratively.
So, is this broken one the new, improved piping?
No, they haven't replaced it yet. We can run our tests later.
First things first. We need to deal with the source problem before we can even think about the tapestry.
One problem at a time. I agree.
We have our Norian prototypes. How you feeling? Theories proven, research recovered.
A successful collaboration by any measure.
So, we know the cave was inaccessible because of the leak.
Yes, suggesting most other tangles are from damage to the tapestry. Major breakages always seem to have one nearby.
If there's raw magic in that part of the tapestry, at least.
Exactly. Now that we know how to shut down a part of the tapestry, we should be able to make repairs.
What did you find in the notes from the cave?
Exactly what I was hoping to see. Advanced materials sciences. Results from experiments on pressure containment.
Unsuccessful containment.
True. But in fairness, it wasn't the new design that failed.
I'm glad I could help, Sev.
More than anything, this has reminded me that not all Norians are scheming political animals.
Some are you.
Well, not anymore. But yes, some are more interested in sharing their expertise and pushing it further. And that's enough to give me hope that maybe if we get out of here, there's a way I could reform things.
Or at least open some eyes.
Exactly. That's a problem for the future, though. For now, there are tests to run. The more I dwell on the prospects of repairing the tapestry, the more excited I become.
The experimental piping is working, then?
Yes, it is. I've been running numerous tests. And for me, this is a chance to do some actual engineering, away from the Order's influence. Those who cross them disappear in the night. But unless they also have an Ark of Verdance, they can't reach me here.
Norians are really that ruthless.
It was the mystique they cultivated. But who knows how much action they took. That's the problem with secret societies, Brim. After a while, it's just secrets all the way down.